453,000 British pensioners have had their state pensions frozen. A lot of you watching this will think that's fair. Others will think it's a disgrace. I really want to go through the facts with you and hear what you think at the end. So I'm Eric. I run this channel, Time to Retire, with my wife Tracy. And we talk about pensions and everything to do with retirement. And if that's something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button. If you already are subscribed, it'd be great if you could hit that like button for us, because it makes more of a difference to the channel than you'd ever imagine. So 453,000 pensioners have had their pensions frozen. Will the government change their mind on this? A recent study found that retired British citizens living abroad typically receive only about £3,000 per year from their frozen state pension, which is about £7,000 less than those who stay in the UK. Although these pensioners still receive a UK state pension, not all of them are eligible for the triple lock. And the triple lock increases the pension annually based on earnings, inflation, or a minimum of 2.5%. The full state pension is expected to rise over £400 in April, bringing the yearly amount to around £12,000. Thousands of British expats receive only £3,000 a year. According to the investment platform Interactive Investor, the average state pension for a UK pensioner living in the UK is £10,099. However, this drops to £2,946 for someone who's retired abroad to one of these frozen countries. This is where British pensioners don't benefit from having their state benefits increased each year. And it includes Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and South Africa, many others as well. So the International Consortium of British Pensioners, the ICBP, has been fighting for the rights of British expat pensioners for years, and they're advocating for a change in the government policy to ensure that all pensioners get the annual uprating. The ICBP recently reported that a staggering 453,000 pensioners don't actually get these upratings, leaving them struggling to make ends meet. However, there may be some hope for pensioners. A comment from Emma Reynolds could signal a potential change in stance for the government and possible ally in the fight for what they class as fair treatment of expat pensioners. The ICB continues to push for action. It remains to be seen if the government will be sympathetic, though. And will it make a difference to those pensioners? So, which countries are affected and why? According to the Department for Work and Pensions, the DWP, over 40% of the 1.12 million pensioners living abroad are impacted by frozen state pensions. And this represents about 4% of the 12.7 million people receiving state pension in total from the UK. British citizens residing in the economic area, Gibraltar, Switzerland, USA, Jamaica, and many other countries actually receive an annual increase in their state pensions. However, in contrast, those living in countries, as I mentioned, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, but also India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Caribbean islands, every African nation, they don't receive any pension update at all. And the ICBP says that there's no reason other than that the situation has existed for over 70 years. The UK government states that the issue arises from countries that don't have a reciprocal arrangement with the UK. A petition to end frozen pensions has really gathered support recently, and 172,000 people have signed up for it. The petition says that the UK government continues to refuse to enter any new agreements that would end the pensions injustice for all. It goes on to say that this policy can have a devastating impact on the lives of those affected, and for some, the income loss can mean retirement actually in poverty. So how much do expats receive from their frozen state pensions? Well, calculations by Interactive Investor using the DWP data revealed that pensioners living abroad with frozen state pensions receive an average of £7,153 less annually than those living in the UK. And this disparity grows with age due to the cumulative effect of the freeze, and pensioners in the 90s with frozen pensions receive only £1,896 per year compared to £10,809 on average for the people living in the UK. That's nearly a £9,000 difference. Interactive Investor said that moving abroad can be a dream come true for many Britons, especially as they approach their golden years. However, it's essential to pay attention to the finer details, particularly regarding your state pension. If you are planning to retire in a country where the UK state pension is frozen, it means you won't benefit from the annual increases that help keep up with inflation. And because of that, your payments will decline in real terms year on year throughout your retirement. And this could have a significant impact on your financial well-being in later years, leaving some facing poverty in their old age. A government spokesperson said, "We understand that people move abroad for many reasons, and we provide clear information on gov.uk about how this can impact your finances in retirement. The International Pension Centre is a source of advice for people who are already retired. And the government's policy on uprating of the UK state pension for recipients living overseas is a long-standing one of more than 70 years, and we continue to uprate state pensions overseas where there's a legal requirement to do so." So that doesn't sound very hopeful, does it? The ICBP claims the policy is anachronistic, inconsistent, and actually out of touch with British values. It says that the cost of ending the frozen state pensions policy is around 307 million quid over 5 years. However, the DWP estimates that should be 4.59 billion over the 5 years, because it assumes that all pensioners who currently receive a frozen state pension will actually start to receive a pension as if it had never been frozen, backdated. The ICB believes that the DWP is actually being disingenuous to this and selective in presenting their numbers. And they say that pensions in the remaining countries where they continue to be frozen should be unfrozen in the same way as pensions have been unfrozen in other countries. We're not asking for special treatment or retrospective adjustments to anyone's pension, just to unfreeze it from this date going forward. Anyway, some of you will agree with this, some will think it's a disgrace. I want to know. So if you decide to move abroad and spend your money supporting local businesses in other countries, should the UK taxpayer uprate your state pensions each year? Controversial? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Hello, Floyd.